I want to see if you agree with this. He says, I am certain of nothing but of the holiness of the heart's affections and the truth of imagination. What the imagination seizes as beauty must be truth.
Oh man. Yeah. I would say I probably agree.
The holiness of the heart's affections. Whatever the heart sees as beauty has to be beauty.
No, I disagree.
Yeah.
Because I think
your emotions can trick you.
No, I think your heart can be corroded, and you could see something as beautiful that's not really beautiful.
Yeah.
I think he just has a really high perception of humanity.
He's a romantic. He's literally, by definition, a romantic poet. So
yes,
yeah.
But I don't know that he takes into it, and I don't know anything about him, so I don't know. But it seems from that definition that he's not taking into account our broken nature, and people's like willingness to let themselves be led astray.
And that's exactly the response by the church, is that you have emotions and then you have your faculties of reasoning, right? And your emotions should be subject to your faculties of reasoning. Otherwise, you can be deceived by your own emotions.
Yeah, but last time we talked about this, you were kind of saying... Mm-hmm. I didn't realize, first of all, that the church said that. But you seem to be arguing that your faculties and reason can sometimes be like take a backseat to the way that you feel about the art.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still think that?
I think so. I think there's some beauty that you can't explain and that you shouldn't try to explain.
I.e. God.
Yeah.
That's taking it to the very extreme, but like we are not intellectually capable of understanding God.
Mm-hmm.
But we could still appreciate him and his beauty. Like we could, it's kind of one of those things that you don't have to be all Aquinas about it and try to logic yourself to God. You could just believe. I mean, some of the most faithful people that I know could not tell you, like, cannot articulate why they believe in God or why God might exist, but they can just say, I believe full-heartedly and really mean it.
Well, you don't even have to focus on just the lay people that don't look into apologetics theology or trying to understand. Even Aquinas, the doctor that we base so much of our understanding of church doctrine on, he wrote that after he saw the beatific, he had a view of the beatific vision or something. I don't know. And no one does. And you know what he said, right?
Yeah, it's something about everything that I've ever written does not come close to being able to translate what I saw.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think in a way you can kind of tie that to negative capability.
You can tie anything to negative capability.
I guess you can. Anything that's uncertain, anything that is humble in admitting that I don't understand and I can't understand.
And it's okay. But how does that square with what you said the church said about using your faculties of reason over your feelings?
I don't know.
Okay, that's okay. I don't either. Maybe that's we're not fully understanding what the church said about that, or where did you get that notion that's what the church said?
You could even, I think it's symbolic. It's also the fact that our brain is literally above our heart is kind of symbolic of that we should first things first, we're made in the image and likeness of God because we can reason. That's the main part of it. Emotions, I think there's pretty much consensus on this that's should never be relied on. I think emotions can trick you, and actually even Aquinas wrote about how the enemy can get into your emotions and manipulate your emotions, but he cannot get into your mind or your will. So you need to discern. That's what discernment is. Whether your emotions are correct or not.
Yeah, I could totally see how you could have your emotions lead you astray. In theory, though, you could say the same thing about your intellect, though, no?
Well, if your reasoning is sound.
Well, that's true. If you're just smarter, then no.
Yeah.
You could always come back to like the reasoning. 2 + 2 is always 4. Maybe you think it's 5, but you're wrong. It's really 4. So at that point, it cannot lead you astray. That makes sense.